My sister actually passed away in this room unexpectedly. Um, she suffered from alcoholism and some pills for many years, and she had plenty of wake up calls. There's one. Uh, Injuries, um, probation, court. She was one of those mean, violent drunks. But I must say, in some aspect, I can't blame her for wanting to escape because, in a lot of ways, my life, there's one, my life is parallel almost to how hers was. Uh, but anyway, like I said, she had a lot of wake up calls. So we knew eventually it was going to happen. You know, the doctors told her, that you have heart problems. As a matter of fact, they wanted to put a fibrillator in, but she was putting that off. Look, see, and the day that she died, she went to her primary doctor. She came home, and then apparently she was going to lie down, like she always slept a lot and spent all of her time in her room like I do. So she went in to lay down. About 2, 3 hours later, apparently my mother went in to see if she was going to have any dinner, and she wasn't, responding. Now, when she's passed out drunk, of course, you know how that is. They're just unresponsive. It's impossible to wake them up. And anyway, I didn't know anything about that. And then my mother comes in my bedroom and says, "Your father needs your help." And I said, "For what?" And she said, "Just come here a minute." So I came out. They were already on the phone with 911. My father needed help getting my sister off of her bed. Now, she looked literally like she was just passed out asleep, eyes closed, and the only thing, I mean, her one leg was hanging off the bed, but other than that, you'd swear she was just passed out. She was limp. So we put her on the ground, and I really don't know anything about CPR, but I started, giving her CPR and you know, um, pushing on her chest where I thought I should. And every time I would blow in her mouth, air would come right back out. Now, later I find that you don't have to pinch the nose and you don't have to hit on the chest. So, but like most things, there's always a different theory. But anyway, as I'm doing this, her lips are already a little blue. The paramedics arrived. I got up and I said, "Here," I said, "I don't even know if I'm fucking doing this right." And I went back into my room. When they were finished and they took my sister, there's one. And when they took my sister to the hospital, there's one. See, I don't know what that is. There's one. I have no idea what that is. But anyway, um, I asked my father, I said, well, how is she? And they said, well, they said right now they're breathing for her. So basically, what they did was, I guess, gave her some kind of needles to the heart, used the paddles to jumpstart her heart, And then once they got a little bit of a heartbeat, of course, they had that mask on where they have to squeeze it, to keep her alive. But so basically, we found her dead, and I was giving CPR to my dead sister. So my parents got ready to go to the hospital, and I said, please, whatever happens, don't wait for you to get home to tell me, just call me. An hour later, they called, said the doctor called them into a room, said they worked on her for an hour, and they just couldn't get anything. I mean, she was, even if they could, she was brain dead. I mean, she was dead. My mother apparently refuses to believe that, but she was. So I hung up and I broke down crying and kept saying I'm sorry because my sister and I loved her, but we just did not get along, and most of that was due to her alcoholism. And then before I even got that phone call, I went into her room just to talk because I already knew she was gone. Then once I got the phone call, I went back in her room. Now, the strange part with all this is that, and I know this is boring to look at, just a door, but I do want to show you her room when I know I'm not going to get caught. The weird thing about this is I went in her room about 3 times. Each time got a little easier. It's still hard, but I had my heart to heart with her. You know, told her how I felt, told her, I mean, it was closure for me, or somehow closure to come to terms with it. At some point, my mother decided to lock her bedroom door. And we fought about that. I could not understand. And I was told, why the hell would you want to go in there anyway when you hated her so much? It's just the idea that, she's my sister, but now I can't get in there to have my time because my mom feels that she has the authority of deciding who can go in there or when or anybody can go in there. But luckily, I was smart enough, like I said, to find this key that's hidden right there. But I have to be careful because if for any reason she believes that I may have been in the room, she will hide that key again, and then I'll probably never find it.